Fine. Good morning to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Students, have you all studied chapter 2? So last class I have taught about chapter 2 as well as Sagamok question answers for chapter 2, isn't it? So have you all studied the chapters? So 1 mark question, 2 mark question, 3 mark question as well as 5 mark question I asked you to study. Isn't it? So have you all studied? Studied or not? So please study daily portions, okay? So welcome to our today's online class students. So now we are going to study about a new chapter, chapter 9, Introduction to C++. Okay? So last year if you have seen means till chapter 8 they have given in last year same book only, now you are studying in same book, but last year the students they have studied in the two different books. Till chapter 1 to 8 they have studied in first volume and chapter 9 to 18 they have studied as a second volume. Now they have combined the both the things in a single book, okay, but the contents are same only. Why they have separated as a two volumes means, first itself I said chapter 1 to 8 is interrelated. So chapter 1 to 8 you have studied about hardware. What do you mean by computer? What are the hardware components? What do you mean by software? How you need to open some applications, then problems, circuits, everything, isn't it? So from chapter 9 to 18, so you are going to study a new programming language. Okay, so what's the use of this programming language? Okay, so you are a computer science student. So computer, you might have seen lot of applications, isn't it? So to design particular applications or games or anything, so you should know some software languages. Okay, so all this applications, all the games are designed using different kinds of languages. Okay, so among that you are going to study a new programming language called C++. Understood? So which programming language you are going to study? C++. Understand? Now we can enter into our chapter. So listen. So this C++ is one of the most popular programming language. Okay. So this is the most popular programming language. Okay. So this C++ supports both procedural as well as object oriented programming paradigms. Okay. So this and all you will study it in later chapters. Okay. So you will study this concepts. What do you mean by object oriented programming? Then what do you mean by procedural concepts? Okay. So all the things you will study in later chapters very detailed. Okay. So this programming language supports two concepts. What are they? Procedural as well as object oriented programming. Okay. So because of this concept we are calling C++ as a hybrid language. Understood? Why we are calling C++ as a hybrid language? So because this language supports two types. What are the two types? Procedural as well as object oriented paradigms. So what do you mean by procedural? For example, if you are going to do some physics practical, so before you are going to do a practical, you will write some procedures, isn't it? So based on the procedure, you need to done the practical. So likewise, each and everything will have separate procedures. So this programming language will work based on procedures as well as some object oriented concepts. Understand? So we are calling this C++ as which language? Hybrid language. Understand? Important question. Why C++ is a hybrid language? Understand? So after the word C, there is two plus will be there. Okay. So before they have introduced this C++, so before the C++, a language called C is there. Understand? So each year or each years and years each time they will introduce new software languages. Okay, so don't think only one programming language is there, so that programming language only now they are using. Not like that. Based on our needs or based on our development, So the companies or particular engineers will introduce the new programming language for designing various applications. Okay, so before the C++, a programming language called C is there. Understand? So before C++, which language they have used for designing everything? C. So after that, they introduced a language called what? C, the extension plus plus. That only they are giving the third point. C++ is a superset extension. Already C language is there. So already a language C is there. Next they introduced a new language called C++. So only some concepts will be different from the. So for example, already one product will be there. Next, a particular company is going to introduce a new product or new version of the product. Okay, so which one a customer will prefer? New products, isn't it? Or new trends. So if they are introducing a new products or new trends, that is advanced than the previous product, isn't it? So likewise, same only, if they are introducing new language, that is more advanced than the previous language. Okay, so only the C++ language will got the name as C++ with C. Okay, so who named first before C++, this language got the name as C with classes. Okay, so before C++, they called the language what's the name? With what name? C with classes. Okay, so who named this language with C with classes means Bjarne Stroustrup. Okay, important one more question. Who named the language C with classes? Who? Bjarne Stroustrup. Okay, so after that, a man called Rick Maxty. Okay, what's the name of the person? Rick Maxty. So this person will name the language called C++. Understand? So introduction for what are things we have studied. So C++ supports how many concepts? Two. What are they? Procedural as well as object oriented. So we are calling this as an hybrid language. Okay. Before the C++, which language they have been used? C. After the C, they introduced a new language called C++ with the extension plus plus. Okay. So C++, first what name they have given? C with classes. Okay. Which person give the name C with classes? Bjarne Stroustrup. Okay. After that, a person called Rick Maxty named the language called C++. Understand? So here two more question. Hybrid language will be there. Then 3, one more questions. Bjarne Stroustrup and Rick Maxty. 2, one more questions also there. Understand? Next, history of C++. Okay. So where this language is developed and who developed this language. So this details and all we are going to study here. Okay. So actually this only the name is given by the person Rick Maxty. Okay. But this language is developed by the person who? Bjarne Stroustrup. Okay. So who developed this language? Bjarne Stroustrup. Okay. So where he has developed the language means at T-Bell Laboratory. So where he developed the C++ language? At T-Bell Laboratory. So in which year means 1979. Okay. So which year he developed the C++? 1979. Which place? At Bell Laboratory. Who developed? Bjarne Stroustrup. So 3 one-word questions are here. What are they? Who developed C++? Bjarne Stroustrup. Don't get confused. Who named the language? Rick Maxty. But who developed the language? Bjarne Stroustrup. In which place he developed? At T-Bell Laboratory. Which year? 1979. Okay. So this C++ is originally derived from which language? Already I said. This is derived from which language? C language. Okay. So this language will have influenced by many languages. Okay. So before itself I said don't think only one programming language is there. Lot of programming languages are there. Okay. So they introduce C++. So this language will have the influence about lot of previously introduced languages. Okay, some examples they have given. What are the examples? Means Simla, BCPL, ADA, ML, CLU. This and all programming languages. Okay, so before the C++, they have used this kind of languages. Okay, so this C++ will also have influenced about that language. Okay, so first in 1983 they have named this language as New C. Okay, so 1983 they have named this language is which name? New C. Okay, and next they have named as C with classes. Okay, this language developed in the year which one? 1979. Okay, then 1983 they have changed the name with New C. Then again they have changed with C with classes. Then finally the person Risk Mastery changed the name with C++. Understand about the history of C++? So who developed this language? Business startup. In which place? Bell Laboratory. Which year? 1979. Okay. So this language will also have influenced about lot of previous languages. So in 1983, first they have named us which name? New C. Next they have renamed us C with classes. Finally a person Risk Mastery changed the name to C++. Understand? Yes. So next we are going to study about what's the benefits of learning this language. So why we are going to learn this language and what benefits we are getting for learning this language. Okay. So first thing is highly portable language. Okay, what do you mean by portable language? Easily we can understand and easily we can use. Okay, and also this language has a choice for using multiple device. Okay, what do you mean by multiple device? Any kind of device you can use. Not only you can use only in Windows XP. Not only you can able to use Windows 7. Not only you can use in Windows 8. So any kinds of device you can use. Okay, and any kinds of device. In tabs you can use, the systems you can use, laptops you can use, and multi-platform app development. Okay, what do you mean by multi-platform? So multiple, that will I said no, Windows XP, Windows 7, any kinds of platform this language will support. Understand what's the first point? What's the first benefit? This and all important question. Benefits of C++. Important question. What's the first point? So it is highly portable language and also multiple device it will support and also used to develop multiple platform app. Okay. First point. So in the introduction itself you have studied C++ is a procedural as well as object oriented programming. Isn't it? So later we have studied, later we are going to study this object oriented programming in detail. Okay. So in this, why we are saying this language will support object oriented programming means, so in object oriented programming lot of concepts will be there. Okay. What are the concepts mean? Classes, inheritance, polymorphism, data abstraction, encapsulation. So these are the concepts will come under object oriented programming. Okay. So if we are saying the particular language supports object oriented programming means that language will obey all the concepts present in object oriented programming. So now we are saying C++ is also a object oriented programming language, isn't it? So C++ will also support all these concepts. So if the programming language will support these concepts means only we can say the particular language is an object oriented programming. Understand? That's the second point. Third point is a rich function library. So normally what's the meaning of library? So library, lot of books will be there. So based on your needs you can search your books and you can improve your knowledge, isn't it? Likewise, each and every programming softwares have default libraries, function libraries. Okay, so default function library means in the program while you are installing the software itself, there are a lot of functions already installed. While you are installing the software itself, some predefined functions will be there in the function library. So in C++ language you will also have a lot of function libraries. Understand? That's the third point. Then fourth point, it allows exception handling. So exception handling is nothing but error handling. Okay, so easily you can find out the errors in this language. Okay, so inheritance, function overloading. So these are the some things, exception handling, important question. So listen carefully. C++ will support what are the things? Exception handling, inheritance, polymorphism, sorry, function overloading. Okay, but these concepts are not supported by C. First itself I said, so if you are introducing a new versions or new languages, that will be advanced than the previous language, isn't it? So likewise, previously which language will be there? C, isn't it? So C language will not support these concepts. What are the concepts? Yeah, exception handling, inheritance, function overloading. These concepts and all not supported by the language C. So we are introducing C++. So this language will support all these concepts. Okay, so next point is it is the most powerful and efficient language. Why we are saying as a most powerful and efficient language means using this language you can able to design lot of applications. Okay, so lot of applications, even 3D games also you can able to design using this C++ language. Okay, so GUI applications. What do you mean by GUI? Already you have studied. Graphical user interface. Okay, so each and everything you are giving in now. So if you are going to now all the things are in online, isn't it? You are going to fill a application form means online itself you can able to fill. That's a GUI application, user interface. And understand? So what are the benefits of learning C++? First thing, it's a highly portable language. Then so it will support for multiple device as well as multiple platform it will support. Then second point, now we can say this is object oriented programming. Why? So when we can say this object oriented programming, it needs to support classes, inheritance, polymorphism, isn't it? So C++ will support all these concepts. What's the third point? It has a lot of function libraries. So while installing software itself, lot of default functions will be there. So here also lot of functions libraries having. Okay, so and also C++ will support what are the concepts? Exception handling, function overloading, inheritance, isn't it? But C language will not support these things concept, but C++ will support this concept. Okay, understand? Next, we can say this language is the most powerful language. Why? Using this language you can able to design lot of application, games, 3D applications, GUI applications, etc. etc. Understand benefits of C++? Important 3 more question. Understand? Okay. So next thing is a character set. What do you mean by character? So in keyboard you might have seen lot of alphabets, isn't it? So that alphabets we are calling as in what? Characters. A, B, C, D, E, numbers, symbols, in many things you might have seen in keyboard, isn't it? So all the things we can say, we can call character set. Okay. So this is a definition of character set. Listen, what's the definition mean? It is a set of characters used to write C++ program. So what do you mean by character set? So you are using some set of characters. You are going to write a C++ program. Okay. So to write a C++ program, you are going to say you are going to write a C++ program. For that, you are using some set of characters. That characters we are calling as which is set character set. What do you mean by character set? It is a set of characters used to write a C++ program. Okay. So character in the sense, what are things will become under character? Alphabet. English alphabets A to Z, capital letter, small letter. Then numbers 0 to 9. Okay. Then many kinds of symbols, plus, minus, equal to, brackets, everything. What are symbols you have presented in keyboard? All the symbols will supported by this C++ language. Okay. So understand very important question. What do you mean by character set? So if to write a C++ program, so the character set using, if we are using a, you are going to use a particular set of characters to write a C++ program, that we are calling as a character set. Okay, what are the things will be there in character set? Numbers will be there, alphabets, capital letters, small letters, digits 0 to 9, special symbols, all the things are supported by character sets. Okay, so some examples they have given in the tabular column C. So what are the alphabets? Capital A to small a is capital A to capital Z, small a to small z. Then numbers 0 to 9. Then special character. These are the symbols you have seen in the keyboard. So all the symbols are supported by C++. Then spaces, blank space, then horizontal arrow marks, the next line it will come. So all the things are, it will support. The other characters. Then ASCII, so already have studied no second chapter ASCII values. So ASCII characters, so 256 ASCII characters also it is supported. Understand what I mean by characteristic set? Important 2 mark question. Okay. Then very important question, lexical units. Okay, the same thing, listen carefully and study. The same thing you are going to study in 12th standard also. Lexical units are token question. Very important question. Again and again I am telling, very important question in this chapter. So listen carefully and study. Okay, so you are going to write a C++ program. Okay, so whether the program will contain only one alphabet? No. So if you are going to write a program, the program will contain lot of commands, variables. For example, so you are going to do one mathematical problems. Okay, so in 5 more questions you are going to do. Only numbers alone will come for that problem? No. Variables is there, symbols equal to is there, plus is there, minus is there, numbers will be there, positive number, negative number, lot of things altogether will produce the answer for the particular problem, isn't it? So if you need to get the proper answer, so you are going to use lot of things, numbers, alphabets, symbols, everything. Okay, alphabets in this, for example, A equal to 5, B equal to 10, C equal to 15. A plus B. So symbol plus. A minus B minus. A into B into. So these are the symbols you are using. Variables A you are using. Consonants 5, 10. So all the things all together you are using and taking the final answer. Isn't it? Likewise, if you are going to write a C++ program, so C++ program will contain lot of things. So what are the things means? It will contain lot of elements such as comments. What do you mean by comments? Statements. What are the things you are giving? For example, you are going to write one big detailed question. Okay. So detailed question headings will be there. Important points will be there. Then apostrophe will be there. Commas will be there. Okay. Likewise, if you are going to write a program, so the program will contain comments. That means the statements we are calling as comments. Next one, variables. For example, A equal to 5. So we are calling A as a variable. Then constants, A equal to 5. 5 as a constant. Okay. And symbols, A plus B. Which one is the symbol? Plus. Okay. The A comma B. Punctuators. Okay. So in C++ program will also have lot of elements. What are the elements it will have? Comments, variables, consonants, then lot of symbols, operators, punctuators. Okay. So it is a collection of all these elements. Okay. So all collection of all these elements togetherly we can say this is a lexical unit. Understand what do you mean by lexical unit? So if a program is constructed using lot of statements, what are statements? Comments, variables, constants, then symbols, operators and punctuators. So altogether we can say this is a which unit? Lexical unit. Understand what do you mean by lexical unit? Very important 3-mark question. What do you mean by lexical unit or tokens? What's the other name of lexical unit? Tokens. Okay. So our C++ has lot of lexical units or tokens. So here they have given 4 kinds of lexical units. Okay. So next 12th standard also you are going to study 4 types only. The same only. Same answer only. So now if you are study thorough means the same question no need to study again in the 12th standard. Because the same question they have given in 12th standard also. Please now itself listen and study. Okay. So C++ here the tokens are 4 types. What are they? So C++ has how many tokens? 4. What are they? Keywords, identifiers, literals and operators. Okay. So in exam they will ask what do you mean by tokens or what do you mean by lexical units? Explain its types. Okay. So you should write up to this. What do you mean by tokens and what are the tokens supported by C++? So what are the tokens? Keywords, identifiers, literals and operators. Understand? So first you are going to study about token. What do you mean by token? Okay. Normally about token we used to say Okay, in a cinema theater or an hospital, they will give, they will give a token. What's the use of token? So in the token, they will give your name or a phone number or your some numbers, everything. Isn't it important things? That's a small thing, isn't it? So likewise, in a program, which one we are calling as a token mean a small individual unit of a program we are calling as a token. Okay, so which one we are calling as a token? A small individual part of a program we are calling as a token or lexical unit. Okay, for example, you are writing one detailed question. Okay, so detailed question, it will contain 2 or not 2 or 3, 20 or 50 sentences. Okay, so detailed question will contain 20 or 50 sentences. Okay, so each sentence altogether 50 sentence joined together means only you will get the answer for a full detailed question. Okay, so each sentence we are calling as a token. Understand? So consider the 50 sentences as a program. So one sentence, each and every sentence we are calling as a token. Understand? So in a program also, each smallest unit we are calling as a token or lexical unit. Understand what I mean by token? Yes. So next thing is the keywords. Okay. So keywords mean, so it is some special kind of words in C++ program or reserved words. What do you mean by reserved? We used to say no, train, the seats are reserved. So already it is reserved. Likewise, while you are installing software itself, in the software having some keywords, that's a reserved keywords. This keywords and all we can use. Likewise, it is reserved while you are installing the software itself. Okay, so keywords are the some reserved bits. It will have some special meaning. Okay, so each keyword can be identified by the C++ compiler. Okay, what do you mean by compiler? Means listen. So you are going to type one program. Okay, you are going to type one program. So that program you need to, for example, you are in Max, you are going to do one problem. So what's your aim? You need to take the answer for the problem, isn't it? Likewise, you are going to do type one program. What's the aim? You need to take output for the program. Okay, so how you need to take the output means first you need to type the program in the computer. Okay, then you need to save the program. Then you need to run the program or execute the program. So this execution is done by compiler. Okay, so what's the use of compiler? The compiler will execute the program and then only you will get the proper output. Understand? So what do you mean by keywords? The keywords are the reserved words or special words. So each keyword will have some special meaning. So that can be identified by whom? The compiler. Understand? So these keywords are the special elements in the C++ program. Okay, so without keywords you can't able to write the C++ program. So each keyword will have separate meaning and this is a special essential element for the C++ program. Okay, so if you see the keywords means most of the keywords will be common for all the programming languages. Okay, so here the keywords are common for C, C++, Java, this and all programming languages. Okay, so what keywords you are using in C++? It is common for C. It is common for Java. It is common for C++. But the keywords will be sensitive. So what do you mean by sensitive means the keywords always should write in small letter. That is in lowercase. That is case sensitive. The program will identify. If you are written the keyword in capital letter means the program will throw an error. So it's wrong, it will provide error. Okay, always the keywords are say case sensitive. What do you mean by case sensitive? So always you should write the keywords using a small letter or lowercase letters. So understand what do you mean by keywords? These are the special words or reserved words. Each one will have special meaning that is identified by whom? Compiler while you are run the program. Okay, so without keyword you can't able to run the program and you can get the output. You cannot able to take the output without giving proper keywords. Okay, so most of the keywords are common to the all programming languages like C, C++, Java, all the programs will have the keywords are common. But one important thing, the keywords is a case sensitive. Always you should write the keywords using small letter. So if you are written in capital letter means it will throw an error. Understand? So listen. So these are the some of the examples of the keyword. Okay, so auto, break, case, catch, char, class, cons, continue, default, float. Likewise, lot of things are there. So these are the examples of keywords. Okay, so in exam they was asked the questions like what do you mean by keywords? So explain with example means you should write what do you mean by keywords. From here you write any 4 examples. 2 more question means you write 4 example. 3 more question if they ask means 6 example you write. According to your wish you can study any 6. From this tabular column any 6 you study. Okay, which is the easiest or which is the easy to memorize, that one you study. Understand? So, and also identifiers, if you need, next we are going to study about identifiers. Okay, that identifiers always given by using underscore. And so next we are going to study about identifiers. Understand about keywords? Yes. So next thing is the identifiers. Okay, so identifiers are user defined names. Name itself having user defined. So who is defining the name of the identifier? User. Who is the user? Who types the program or who is doing that particular application? That person we are calling as the user. Okay, so this identifier of the user defined names. The name identifier is defining by the user. Okay, so different points of the program based on the needs we are going to use this identifiers. Okay, so for example they are giving variables, functions, arrays, classes. This and all you will study later in later chapters. Okay, so identifiers are which one? User defined names. So we are using these identifiers in the various parts of the program. Some examples they are given. We are using as a variables, functions, arrays or classes. Okay, but these identifiers are the basic building blocks of a program. Understand? So which one is the basic building? Important one more question. Which is the basic building block of a program? Identifiers. Okay. So if you are going to write a identifier, already you have studied, identifier is a user defined names. Isn't it? So user is defining particular identifier. So if you are going to define a new identifier, there are separate rules will be there. So what are the rules you need to follow to name the identifiers? So listen, these are the rules. Important question. Okay, important question, rules for naming an identifier. Okay, so what's the first rule means? So the first character of the identifier must be an alphabet or an underscore. What's the first rule? So always the identifier, the first letter of the identifier starts with a English alphabet. Okay, or the particular identifier is named using underscore. This is a symbol for underscore. Okay, so understand what's the first point? So always the identifier should return with the alphabet or and first letter starting with alphabet, or first you should provide underscore. Okay, so if you are going to define an identifier, so you should define either alphabets, digits or underscore. 3 things only permitted for defining identifier. What are the 3 things? Only alphabet you can use, either digit you can use or underscore. So other special characters and all not allowed. For example, comma, into, plus, bracket, this and all not allowed. Only either you can define using alphabets or underscore or numbers. Okay, so only these 3 things only permitted, as special characters or symbols will not be permitted for defining identifier. Okay, so already we have studied C++ is a case sensitive. Okay, what do you mean by case sensitive? So which, for example, first you are going to write your name. Always you will write your name with starting first letter as a capital letter. That's a rule or format, isn't it? Likewise, the C++ is also a case sensitive. Some places you should use small letter. Some places you should use capital letter. So that treats uppercase and lowercase letters, are each and everything will have separate meaning. So whether you will write, if you are going to write your name, whether you will write first letter of the name with small letter and remaining letter of the name with capital letter, no. That's wrong, isn't it? By saying itself, you know, that's a blunder thing. Likewise, in program also, some places you should mention with capital letter, some places you should mention with small letter. So that is called case sensitive. Okay, in the place of capital letter, if you are mentioning small letter means it will throw an error. Understand? That's the third point. Fourth point, keywords cannot be used as an identifier name. Already you have studied about keywords. Lot of names you have studied as examples. The same keywords cannot be used as an identifier name because keywords have already you have studied. It is a special word. Each keyword will have separate meaning. Already the keywords are stored in a library. Isn't it? The same keywords you are not going to use as an identifier. If you are using keyword as identifier, it will throw an error. Okay. So as per the ASCII values, there is a no limit for the length. That means length of the character is not a matter, but you should define the rules. Understand? So what are the rules you have studied here? First letter always be an alphabet or underscore. So what are things it will support? Either start with alphabet or underscore or digits. Okay. Special characters it will not permitted, as well as it is a case sensitive. It will treat separately uppercase and lowercase. Capital letter place you should write capital letter. Small letter place you should write with small letter. Now what's the next point? The keywords cannot be used as identifier name. If you are using means it will throw an error. Understand? So listen, this is the example for an identifiers. So listen. So they are giving num. So it starts with the alphabet capital letter. So valid. Then full capital letter. That's also a. So you have studied either small letter or capital letter. You should mention. That's also a valid. Otherwise you should mention with underscore. This is the underscore. So that also a valid. So otherwise if we are going to declare two variables, in between the two variables you should mention the underscore. That also valid. Otherwise, likewise, if you are defining two words, the second word always starts with capital letter. Understand? Two words you have separated using underscore, that also correct. If second word is second starting word is given as a capital letter, that also valid. Okay. But listen carefully. Num minus add. Whether it is a valid one? No, already you have studied. So identifiers will not support any special symbols. Minus is a special symbol, isn't it? So the answer you are getting as a invalid. They are given because minus is a special character. Next one is a this. Whether this is a valid? No. Because keywords cannot be used as a identifier names. Isn't it? This is a keyword. So keywords cannot be used as a identifier name. Second one is to my file. Invalid. Why? So always name will start with underscore or alphabet, but here it starts with a number. Number is not allowed to start as a number is allowed, but at the starting it is not allowed. So you are getting an invalid message. Understand? So that only they have given. So if you are going to write two different names, means you can separate the two different words with a underscore. Otherwise the second word you can start with a capital letter. See. So two words you are giving without underscore means you will get a error. But two words in between two words, if you are giving underscore means that's a valid one. Otherwise, other thing, if two words you are declaring means second word starting letter with a capital letter you have mentioned means that also correct. Understand? So next one is a literals or consonant. Very, very important question. Literals or consonants, very, very, very important question. Okay. So what do you mean by literals? Okay, so literals are some values while you are executing the program, the values won't get changed. For example, pi, what's the constant value for pi? Pi equal to 3.14. Whether the 3.14 will get changed in any place? If you hear like that? No, because the constant value for pi is 3.14. So world over, the value of pi is 3.14 only. Likewise, some values do not get changed while you are executing the program. That value we are calling as an literals. Understand? And also, so other name of literals is consonants. What is the other name of literal? Constants. Important, very, very important question. Literals. What do you mean by literals? Literals are some data items. It will not get changed while you are executing the program. So we are calling as a literals. This is called literals. What's the other name of literal? Constants. Okay. So C++ support has many kinds of literals or many kinds of constants. Okay, C++ has many kinds of constants. What are they? What's the other name of literals? Constants. So literals are divided into, listen, numeric constant, boolean constant, character constant and string literal. Okay, so literals are divided into how many types? 4 types. What are they? Numeric constant, boolean constant, character constant and string literal. Okay. Again, numeric constant is divided into two types. Integer constant and real constant. Understand? So, totally literals are divided into how many types? 4 types. What are they? Literals are divided into 4 types. What are they? Numeric constant, Boolean constant, character constant and string literal. Again, numeric constant is divided into 2 types. What are they? Integer constant and real constant. Okay. So, okay, today enough. So, tomorrow we can study this kind of constants in detail. Understand? So, before I am going to end this session, just recall what are things I have taught today. What are things? Introduction about C++, then history of C++, then what do you mean by keywords, then what do you mean by tokens, what do you mean by literals, so what do you mean by identifiers, rules for writing identifier, all the things are very, very important. Okay, so please study. Mostly they will ask 2 mark questions or 3 mark questions from the portions what I have taught. So please study. This is a homework for you. Literals you study, tokens, then identifiers, keywords, everything you study thorough. Understand? Thank you students. Remaining we can continue in the next class. Thank you.